Oh wait, I'm off kilter a little bit. There we go. There we go. Yeah, hey, we're here. We did it. We're doing the thing.
I'm proud of Josh right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
We are. That's all I got. We are. Hello, everybody.
Alive.
We are alive. Welcome to Game of Santos.
We're here to cut the hedges.
I think I recognize some of these folks. Just some. It's fine. Oh no! Wait, what happened? Wait, why did it do that? That was weird.
Oh no!
I didn't even click it.
No.
That was a mouse button feature that never.
Was
Wait.
I think we need one more.
Oh, that is.
Aaron
wait.
touched the butt.
Adam and I are currently sharing. Let me scoot over.
Wait, does this do a thing?
There we go.
It doesn't do a thing. How did I don't know.
Hey,
Whatever.
Ron did the thing.
I did a thing. I guess if I click too many buttons on my mouse, it does a thing. All right, cool. Well, now that I know that, I will never touch the mouse again.
Later that exact minute.
Click. Good to see everybody. We are here. We're the Brady Bunch. We are the Brady Bunch. I don't have anything planned as far as a way of announcements. I don't know what's happening in the Twitchverse at all.
First Sunday of August.
Sunday.
Court, Chapter 2. Flirting. Murder? Come see.
Question mark.
Wait, I was like, is murder an
Well,
option?
in Chapter 1, they made me throw out my plans for a beautiful Fae wedding, and instead they killed somebody.
Oh.
So I don't know.
Oh, it's a red wedding.
Mhm.
The red
Well, we
wedding.
never actually got to the wedding. They stopped the wedding and then murdered someone else. So
Oh, they
I don't know
objected.
what's gonna happen.
They
Very
didn't hold their
Fae.
peace.
Very
Wouldn't
Fae.
that be like a red cap wedding since it's Faye?
The first Shrek movie?
No? Okay.
I don't know what's happening. Okay.
That's the only thing I got.
All right, cool. Well, stay tuned for more announcements coming your way soon. July is going to be a very interesting time, and we have interesting last-minute things that I'm pulling out of my sleeves.
Sleeves is the better term.
Yeah, I was like gonna go. I was like, nope, not gonna do that no, on stream. Anyway, so I didn't think of anything else brilliant to say that could make this situation any better or worse. So yeah, I bet. All right. I think we're just gonna go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Game of Santos because that is what we are here for. Whee!
Where's my ping pong?
Oh, gee.
I was waiting for it to somehow still zoom in on Sonder.
Oh, yeah.
I guess
No
we could.
longer.
Guess we could, but that's not where we are now. I guess.
We've evolved.
There's a lot that's evolved and changed since then, but here we are. Okay. As we get started. Last we left off.
Where did we leave off?
where indeed. Last we left off, Iskra, Kindred, Ardren, Sonder, Theory, Tempest. I think that was it.
Mal's and Snowy.
Oh.
Not Stormy was.
And a partridge.
Oh, yeah,
in a
Stormy
pear
was
tree.
Stormy
Tempest.
was Tempest. All had embarked on a mission to find and then end the once high lich Aranis. I almost said Darth Aranis again. It's been a long weekend. Too much Star Wars. After tracking him across the northern landscapes of Faerun, the party found Aranis's hidden lair high up in the high ice, a section of like glacier-like peak that stands about 1 mile to 2 miles high into the stratosphere. Not that tall, but you know, it's big. Where a showdown was had, and Aranis was summarily vaporized by a beam of snake energy. There you go. In the subsequent death of
Sequin.
oh no, in the following death of Darth Aranis, you guys then found that he had booby-trapped the place to explode upon his demise, where the platform that you had been standing on began to fall 1 mile down really fast. And after that, a Nightcrawler-esque sequence of teleporting began that sent the party like ping-ponging across the universe or the plane of existence before actually arriving in the Fey realm at the very doorsteps of the rose garden that Ardren once tended, haha, so to speak. But before we get to that, mic drop.
That was
We-
10.
It was other things.
Look, dropping mics is expensive.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't suggest. We focus on Galil. After leaving the meeting room, having heard a message given to you by a Tet, you leave your companions as your mind begins to swirl. Each step as you go down the hallway, your heart starts to beat with nervousness. A tumultuous feeling in your stomach that you haven't felt in recent memory. You can't believe that the time is happening. It is finally happening. And you feel like that slowing of your heartbeat. And suddenly your mind drifts to another place. A place where there's a cold wind that is blowing. You can feel the sting of snow on your face. It's not quite a blizzard, but it's pretty close. It's supposed to be daytime or afternoon. You've lost track, but you and the other figure that is walking only a couple feet away from you trudge through knee-high snow and ice. And as you are walking through it, you can see the cape of fur and leather that is wrapped around both of you, like flapping in the wind. The crunch of snow beneath you and Borovar's feet. You get closer to the lip of the rise that you are climbing, and you can see an old settlement that had been recently turned into a bandit fortress. The picket posts' walls barely visible through the falling snow. Your heart slows again and you feel that beating. And all of that fades away. And you are going through the halls. And you're passing people as they go about their business here in the city center. And as they walk past you, you walk out into the daylight here in Atet, in the gardens. And you just walk forward, knowing where you need to go, but your mind still goes back to that memory again. Your blade pulls out with a sickening squelch, and blood spatters across the floor. The crimson-banded bandit falls to the ground, and the pool of blood begins to go across the floor. This was not your first kill, but it was the first where you were the one who attacked first. You were the aggressor. You. Your heart beats. You're back in the city of Atet, and it's not a bustling city, but it is not the empty place that you remember with the first days of the brigade here. The abandoned streets long lost to time in the sands of the Anorak Desert. No, this is now a city. This is a haven for people. Many people have come to this place because of the actions of you and your friends. Your heart continues to beat. As you switch in your mind the next memory, the clinking of the locks being picked, freeing your people that had been captured. A traveling band of Gur headed back to the village. You see in these cages the badly beaten adults, the scared and hungry children, and that one boy with the curly hair and the fire in his eyes. It was not Carp, but it was the one that would remind you of him whenever you would finally, one day, many moons from this moment, when you finally met Carp, would remind you of this one moment, this lost child. And you flash back, and you're back in Atet again. And you're walking through the Gur neighborhood, the first truly permanent place your people have had in probably generations. And even still, even despite all of that, here in this place, it still looks like you remember those tent villages. The walls are decorated with brilliant tapestries and carpets. And you head to your grandmother's. Well, not your grandmother's, but the one that has been like a grandmother to you. And your heart starts to beat faster. And you remember back in that last time, the prisoners running, the alarm bell sounding, Borovar shouting for you to move. Keep running. He's right behind you. He's right behind you. Things have gone bad. And you run with the rest of the people in your village. And the man that's at your side falls. An arrow struck through his chest. He falls to the ground lifeless. You clutch at the boy that you had helped escape, shielding him as more arrows fly past you, one landing into your shoulder, but you keep shrugging forward. And the last time that you heard Borovar's voice, don't stop moving. And out into the snows you go, trailing the people that you had helped rescue, trailing spattering of crimson that falls from your body. And now you are back here in Atet. And you see the door in front of you that you have to enter. What do you do?
I go forward. And just go through.
You open the door. On the inside of this small abode, it's remained empty for this exact purpose, this exact person. If they were ever to return, you had made sure to make arrangements. Standing over by a empty fireplace is a older human-looking man. His beard and hair salt and peppered, now more gray than ever. Weathered, as if spending the last several years out in the sun. And he turns to you with these brilliant ice blue eyes. So you kept moving.
I had to keep going.
There's a very serious expression on his face. Stern. Your mind goes back to the many times that you were reprimanded for more childlike behavior. That paternal instinct of his, even though he was not your blood. And then the slow crack of a smile. That's how I taught you. Keep moving. It's good to see you, Galiodriel.
It's good to see you too, Portavar.
You guys wait almost a minute to try and see who is going to make the first step. And he finally takes a couple of steps towards you. And you meet him halfway and he places a hand on your shoulder. And then brings you in for a deep hug.
I hug back. Tight. Almost about a tear.
He pulls back. Puts a hand on your head and kind of ruffles your hair a little bit. You've grown old.
Not as old as you.
I feel like we have a lot to catch up on.
That we do.
Are you busy?
Not at the moment.
He looks around at this home that you have set aside for the person who, for most of your life, had been like a father to you. And the few family members that you felt like you had. You sit and you catch up for a time. And that's where we will stop this moment for now. As we switch places just down the street and across the bend and around past the third star and straight on till morning, or wherever the hell this
on the way to the Great Valley.
on the way to the Great
Wherever
Valley.
this teleport spell landed, y'all.
No, I believe this
Olive
one was
Garden.
plane shift.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
At least that one was directed.
You find yourself here at the base of a large rose garden.
That was a
Where?
big base.
Well, you know what I mean.
Or you froze, that's why it like
Oh,
Yeah,
Did
that was
I?
me for a second.
oops.
you like we're stuck on base for like 5 seconds.
Bye.
Okay, I thought it was just me too, because
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, I refresh and I have an ad.
And now I have an ad. How dare. But here you stand at a place that Ardrin you feel is probably as close to home as you have had over the recent years. What do you do?
I look to the group I'm traveling with to see if they're even able to get up and walk around, because the last few minutes has been calamitous, to put it mutely. We shouldn't stay here. You don't want to get lost in here. Follow me.
Audrin, who do you think I am?
Larry, did you do like you said last time? You just start laughing,
Mm-hmm.
and Tempest is like come to, and he's okay.
He is he's currently still like unconscious.
Oh, well, I have him, and I'm like,
I'll put a cure wounds into Tempest.
as I go to like Simba, my poultice.
It wasn't
oh.
so much like he went to zero kind of knockout. It was just like poof,
okay.
concussion kind of. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like he was on the verge
He
of
can't
death.
go to sleep.
Don't go to sleep.
So I'm just gonna take some water out of his canteen and cover Tempest.
So I think I'm kind of
And then
like,
put it back into the canteen.
if Larry's laughing hysterically, kind of maniacally, like once he comes to, it kind of triggers me, and then that maniacal laughing kind of just turns into like maniacal crying, as it like all is finally hitting me, and the adrenaline's weared off, like what I think Tempest did, and I'm just kind of there like, floodgates have been opened.
I'll hand Kindred a bottle. Very strong Fey wine.
What is this?
What
It's-
is it? Sips. What? It's good. Sips more.
Whoops, all of this wine.
Tempest looking around, is just like, okay. Does a little like shoulder pat to
Why did you
Kindred.
tell me?
He looks over at Leary, looks up at Sonder, and
You
is
missed a few things.
Well, I'm not dead
Yeah.
yet. Looks over at Kindred. There's probably some things that we need to talk about, buddy, but at least you're okay. Huh. He kind of smiles weakly.
I think I will be, as I'm like, this is good.
Just a baby sucking on the bottle, like finally put the pacifier, just like starting to
Because
calm him
it's
down.
Fey wine, like every step, like a very minor magical effect happens. Like at one point, like your hair changes color, and then the next, like you smell like roses, and it's just like a constant like flipping of it's like very minor things.
I don't even think I notice it, so I'm sure like I'm looking weird and like, why is everyone looking at me?
And just imagine that whole like ad history of gushers.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, it takes a little bit, but I finally like, the wine's probably helping a lot. Thanks, Larry. But it's kind of. Where are we?
And I'll call over from one of the actual sort of gaps or doorways in the hedge maze itself, and just we're somewhere that I'm quite comfortable with, but we also shouldn't be staying right where we are. It's rude not to pay our hostess a visit.
This would be fun.
What's she like, Audrin? Should they not share their names?
No,
Taco.
that'll be fine. But kind of looks around, but it's more sheepish than suspicious, and just says, "She's a wee bit mercurial, so maybe kind of dial back your worst tendencies."
Trying to
That's
hold in
no
some
way
tears because
to.
I'm like, right now is when you tell me this.
That's not necessarily true. A voice calls from the maze, and you see the closest hedge of the maze that you were about to walk into begins to kind of shift and shudder as if something's on the other side. And stepping through from apparent nothingness is Iridia. Do you want to describe her for us?
I suppose the best image I had in my head for the longest time was that pale, sort of like milky white skin, red tangles, like wild but still obviously kept. Like there's an order to that chaos. The ears are not as elongated or exaggerated as one typically expects of an archfey, but there is something there, a little otherworldly. Uh, Bright, vibrant green eyes, and a dress that appears to be all made of living roses, like it was stitched together with the little bulbs of roses along it.
Can I?
And as she makes her appearance,
Yeah. Just Louis right there.
Sandra keeps talking.
Sandra, you're not muted.
What size is your bed?
There we go.
Practice time is over.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And as she steps in the frame, Arjun will turn to the group and say, "May I present to you Iridia, Queen of Roses upon the Throne of Thorns."
Jesus.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk up to Kindred and put my hand on his back, and kind of look at him and say, "It's time."
Trying to like prestidigitation myself to be presentable.
It's
a couple taps.
a
Wait,
pleasure to meet you all in the flesh.
What was that last part you said, Iskra?
Oh, just tap your back a couple times. I'm just being kind.
I've heard and seen so much about all of you. Well, she kind of eyes narrow a little bit towards Larry, but most of you. This one's new. She looks over at Arjun.
Yeah, what can I say? War makes strange bedfellows.
Oh. She looks over at Leary.
I think
Fascinating.
Larry's gonna give a little wink at her on that comment.
I see. I told you your adventures would lead you to my doorstep eventually, darling. She looks over at Arjun and takes a step towards you and very much does that possessive drapery of like placing an arm over your shoulder and around your waist, and then looks over at Larry.
So wonder we haven't met before.
You probably don't get out much. So,
Well, it's been quite an adventure lately, but
how long are you going to stay, my love?
Because for the first time, and at this point, years, they're physically in the same space, and so this is less of a taunting that she can normally do, and he can actually respond in kind. He'll kind of just take the hand and sort of just spin her about a little bit like they've been practicing a dance. And when he pulls her back, the back is against his chest, just to dial in that he can still play the same old game. And just unfortunately, I have to get these ones back. So it's a brief visit, but one that I can make more often now.
Oh,
You don't
Are you
begrudge me my
planning-
responsibilities, do you?
of course not, darling. Of course not. You must stay at least for some dessert or something.
I suppose we could use the respite from the last couple of days, weeks, really. It
After all,
it would be very welcome.
I'm sure. After all, it's not like you have any rush to get back to anything, right?
Now, when you say that,
What?
now what I was going to talk to you was going to be in private, but we do mean to go back to where we came from, roughly about the time that we left. None of this times the
Oh.
flat circle shenanigans.
But dearest, you don't have to rush away. Time is meaningless here.
Well, I suppose we can at least do brunch.
Yes. I insist. Come with me. She goes and she like touches the hedge, and the hedge starts to open as if it's its own portal, and you see the manor-like castle that was in the distance is now oddly right on the other side of the hedge. And she kind of just like shortcutted you away. What do you guys do?
And as they start to walk through, he will do the thing that he would always do and offer his arm to gentlemanly walk her through.
She places her arms through yours, looks over at Leary, and looks back at the portal.
Leary's feeling very mischievous. I would like to take up Ardrin's other arm and with my other arm grab Iskra's.
Ooh, this just got fun.
So did this episode just become Ardrin's harem, or
Fire Island.
Fire Island.
Well, I think it's rather be closer to Fire Fest.
Yeah,
Iskra
and-
at first
You got the
is
Fae
gonna be
back in the
kind of a
Feywilds.
and then just all right then.
You
The
see
Queen of Roses, then. What can you tell me about Winter? What's Winter up to lately? Falling apart?
that cold bitch. She
I don't
Cracks.
know.
she does like to crackle and crumble. Same shenanigans as always, I suppose. And she walks you across like the lawn towards the estate. Tempest leans over to Kindred's like, what's happening?
This was us when we first met the group. And I just hand him the bottle, but this helps. It's almost gone, but there's a little bit in there.
He
I
takes
consider to say, I don't know, but it's sexy.
he takes a sip of it, and his ears kind of like droop and become like Dumbo size, and then go back up to normal as it just like he continues to walk.
Will you ever want to play tennis?
Kindred's got like a marvelous sparkling beard
It's beautiful.
made of clouds that he has to like.
No, it's fine.
It's like when it exhale, it's like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland, but it's like that what makes the beard.
Yes.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Okay. You are brought into a tea room. I don't know. Whatever is in a fake castle where you would entertain guests. I was trying to think of the proper term for it,
If
but
you
I
don't
can't.
mind, I can think of one.
Go for it.
Sort of like a glass enclosure, like it's like a hothouse for flowers, like ones that maybe she's tending to specifically, but it's set up very much like a tea room.
like this.
Mm.
Okay. So having set up, she begins to ask questions as to what your most recent adventures have been. You see that as she speaks, like she occasionally like just has her hand like just casually shifting through the air, and you see like teapot and cups floating around and like pouring themselves, and it's just like this whole Beauty and the Beast style, like everything, all of the tea and the snacks kind of
This is
just
the
move
real
around
reason she's my dream woman.
because of the tea. I get it.
Be human again. I'll be human again.
But you know, the little saucers float to each of you with the tea and beverages as you recount your most recent tales of adventure, if you so desire.
I
Yeah.
had to kill my dad.
Just drink some more.
This
You don't
is
have
now
anything
hitting
just
me.
a little stronger for that one, do you?
He's
Oh.
already had most of a bottle of Fey wine. I think he's going to be quite miserable in the morning.
Oh, Fey wine.
He's handling it very well, though, for a mortal.
She looks Kindred up and down. Yes, made of sterner stuff, it seems.
Quick question, Arjun. Does she resemble Vian at all? Or
No, not
No.
two distinctly different creatures.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Okay.
You poor dear. Family troubles are messy business, but sometimes you can't help it. I'm sure you're going to need some time to recuperate. I offer you as much time as you like to stay here. Time means little in the Fey realm.
That just kind of takes Kindred back to what's time for an endless god, and I'm just like, as polite as that sounds, I respectfully decline for now.
Oh,
But thank you.
such a shame. Perhaps another time.
Just smirks. There's that word again.
I'll show you the fun side of the Feywild next time you're here.
There's the slightest cross of indignation on her face.
Just Arjun backs
like,
up a stab, just taking a very like loud sip of tea, like
Mushroom
shit.
cloud.
In the distance, the mansion just goes boof. Just kind of tilts her head like,
And the
This
Feywild
bitch.
buckled a quarter inch.
Is there anything in particular you would like to talk to her about before you or do?
As they get kind of settled for their, little brunch, sit down and kind of recoup from the ice capade. Arjun would like to obviously like walk with her away from all of this for just a little bit, have a quiet moment.
Before
As-
that, if she's like kind of picking all of her brains, can I just bring up one topic real quick?
Sure.
Because I'm kind of drunk. Do y'all just normally kind of keep little chipmunks in cages and trees locked up randomly out in the forest? Or what is that about?
Oh,
Yes.
you've not heard?
We were kind of. I only got to come here once before, and I point to Sonder. That idiot kind of made it a real short trip, so I probably have it.
I don't think it was Sunder.
Oh, I know it wasn't, but he's like one of the only ones here that was from that.
that time.
Yeah.
You're muted.
It was a sugar glider, not a squirrel
I'm
It
drunk.
was a sugar
or
glider.
chipmunk.
Yeah. I will say, Kindred, you probably know a little bit from Pigug and the rest, the story of the Fey Prince that is
Yeah.
in the process of reclaiming You're just kind of test. All right, I just want to make sure
Yeah,
that you
that's like
knew that you
Pig's
knew.
version. I just want to like cross
Above the table, was this the Fey Prince that I was supposed to kill?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Oh, we have a mutual friend then. Well, friend, I was supposed to kill him. Realize I shouldn't. It's a thing.
Oh, well, Pigog let him loose, and then they became BFFs, and he gave him power. I don't know how it works.
Leary, you're just like, yep, all of this is tracks. The general of the Fey Prince. She's gonna narrow her eyes at you a little bit.
Me or Leary?
I was gonna say which one of us.
No, Kindred.
Okay.
I believe you are well versed with the Fey Prince already, from what I have seen through Ardren's eyes.
Just like to gather all different versions of the story.
I personally have no problem with him.
Can I insight check her?
Sure.
At disadvantage because I'm drunk.
Is there like double prone disadvantage because she's also Archfey?
Right?
Phenomenal cosmic power. Little bitty chica. Oh god damn it. I don't need
Snake
that
eyes.
I don't need that disadvantage.
Did you get a 1?
Yes I did.
Can
Kindred-
I insight check to see which side of the war she's on?
Kindred just drunkenly like face palms into the floor.
I gotta like lean and I just like miss the table like
Oh, elbow pain, phantom elbow pain.
Like I've seen somebody do that in real life, and I thought I was witnessing a bit. It looked fucking painful.
Yeah. Leary, I would say that you wouldn't have to insight check. You knew
Okay.
you familiar enough that she is on the like I don't really care kind of side. She wasn't
as long as
against
it
him,
doesn't
not
affect
for
me,
him,
I don't
but
give a
yeah.
fuck.
I
She
mean, a
kinda-
lot of Fey are like that, unless it becomes personal.
It
Yeah.
would be, I think, apparent too that she is summer or spring or both, and that would probably be a big hint to her leanings. Maybe not her allegiances, but her disposition.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my bit of trouble I've stirred up.
Okay. Arjun, you said you wanted to. So after you guys have like settled into a semi-awkward conversation, then after a little bit, she does kind of catch your eye, and as she leads Arjun away for a brief chat, that one last time before they disappear from line of sight, she kind of looks over her shoulder at Leary and keeps walking.
And I'll just wave at her.
What were you gonna say, Arjun?
Oh, within just a little bit of earshot of the gang,
Mhm.
I wouldn't worry too much about her. She just likes to be trouble rather than is trouble.
And with that, I'll just blow a big kiss at both of you.
She's a wait in HR appointment.
She
As
does.
they, oh,
No, I was gonna say she does wrap an arm around your waist and lean her head down on your shoulder as you guys walk.
be weird right now if I said that she was taller.
Mhm.
And she
Still
did
does
that?
it.
No. Yeah.
It just means from shoulder she
I
puts
didn't.
on top of
I'm
your
not
head.
saying she is. I just thought it'd be a funny image if she was.
I do it all the time. I put my head on the top of somebody else's head as I'm standing next to them.
I kind of want to see you do that to the battle toddler now.
Easy.
Send the picture, please. And intentionally, he'll wander towards the actual garden because it'll be harder for any of them to creep up on this because he does want this to be more between the two of them. And some of the levity seeps out a bit, kind of giving the indication that there was a bit of the sad clown show being put on for a few minutes to kind of
Hey.
get through the day. And when they're alone, I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
What do you mean?
Every attempt at trying to save somebody, help somebody, do something, it just doesn't work. And now, for whatever insane reason, I am some sort of figure of notice in this city. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't think that's necessarily true, dear.
Which part?
Well, it is true. You have become rather important to a few people. More than a few, honestly. You have helped many more than you think. It just so happens that the ones whom you feel like are... Well, I hesitate to use the word failures because they are not quite failures. They're just not the successes that you were looking for. Yet still, all of that work with the underground? How many have you saved there?
Not enough.
When you go back to your city in the sky, do me a favor. Look out that beautiful balcony that you have. Count how many people you see. And then look beyond the horizon and try and count those people as well. I believe the term forest for the trees comes to mind. A few trees have fallen, but you have valleys of forest beyond it. You're doing well. I couldn't have picked a better champion. She smiles and looks almost as if you could imagine her looking at the word picked. And kisses your forehead. And you have a full rest.
We all do?
No, you didn't get the
Damn it.
you didn't get the boo boo
Damn it.
kiss. You didn't get a boo boo kiss.
Go back to crying.
Man, if I knew
Oh.
it was that easy. I mean, it does make sense with the rose that she gave me that I get a spell slot, so being in person, there's more of a contact buzz for it.
Something, kiss from a rose.
There's a reason that is on the playlist.
No
More than just the
smoochie, no Healy.
And more so than usual, he'll let himself be more vulnerable. The lack of persona when they first showed up, and he'll just wrap his arms around her in the familiar fashion. And he'll kind of just be glad for where he is right now.
You know, if you want to stay longer, you can. I'm sure the people in that floating city will get by just fine without you. You can stay here as long as you like. You and your friends, of course. Most of them.
And
I was just thinking all of.
She needs a new servant. He'll lean back, still kind of in the embrace, and kiss her forehead this time.
Do you
She gets
reach
all
up?
up. I think I'm gonna be able to visit more often, though. I think I'm gonna need the respite. If I'm gonna stay there and do the things they want me to do, I'm gonna need a place to come hide often. And there's no place I'd rather hide than with you.
You are such a smooth talker. From the gentlest of petals to the thorniest of pricks. A pure rose from the garden. Your words never cease to amaze me.
I mean, just complimented his words, not knowing what to say to that. I'll just take her hand and kiss the back of it. And kind of just hold it there. Not really kind of wanting to break the silence. His Depeche Mode starts playing for no real reason.
Enjoy the silence.
There we go.
Beautiful. Meanwhile, back in the tea room, as time has stopped, Ardrin, whenever you are ready to return to the room with the others, you find that Leary is still in the midst of blowing a kiss. And like the motion finishes as if they had been stopped for a moment, as you had kind of exited a time and then come back in the exact same moment that you had left.
Arjun has mentioned a few times to the group that time has been funny when he was in the Feywild, that he sometimes doesn't really know how actually old he is. And part of the reason is because he's used little moments like this to just have asides with Iridia or other beings that he just was interested in knowing, or a little just enjoying small moments longer than he should have. But he can, at least here. Maybe it was minutes, maybe it was hours, maybe it was days, but he walks back in the exact second he's leaving.
And it's
And
one
he
of
just sort of
no,
Did it
it's one of
crash?
those. No. I was gonna say it's one of those brilliant moments where you go out the doorway one direction, then you come in the doorway like literally from the other.
I would say it would be the same door, but just a slightly different angle.
Yeah.
And he's walking in just to catch the blown kiss. And just casually just puts it into a pocket and just keeps walking into the room. Just, all right, everybody ready to go?
Been 8 hours that we've just been resting here, waiting for you.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Time is a weird tea.
Yeah, I should have warned you about that.
You miss the time fuckery that can happen here. You don't get that in the mortal plane.
I don't understand what you're all talking about. Just left for a moment.
Kendrick's like all sprawled on the ground.
That's the line that makes me crack up, like from Iskra.
All right, what you got going? Got other things to keep up with. Or is that one gonna make it? I don't know anymore.
It was a delight to meet you.
Were we there long enough to at least get a short rest?
Short rest, sure.
Yay! Arcane recovery!
These flowers can bark. That's cool.
That's cool. Leary, she gives you that little smile. And
If you have a chance to royally fuck over the Queen of Winter, please do.
Oh, Do I sense tensions?
No tensions. I'm going to kill her someday.
Ugh, get in line.
I know, it's a very long one. We'll bring more tea.
Multipass.
Maybe one day I would like in on that little plan. In the meantime, I suppose that you mortals must return to your realm. I would hate for you to miss something important.
Is this the kind of tea room that has like extra fancy kerchiefs like embroidered with like an eye on the corner or something?
An eye? Oh, you mean for the
Iridia.
name?
Like,
Okay.
yeah. Her initials.
I don't know. Well, could it be initial? I think maybe would be, but I oddly
don't-
feel like she
whatever her
wouldn't be
stamp
into
would be.
branding.
Or would she?
It'd be more
She's-
like it wouldn't be a name, like a name initial. It might just be like a filigreed rose pattern, like in the lace itself.
Or like it's an actual like stamped rose somehow in the kerchief.
Possibly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fake shit.
Are you trying
Anyway,
to? You want to
yes.
keep a favor?
I want to just take a tissue if there's multiple in it. Yeah, memento.
It's something to dab your chin with.
My tears,
Yeah.
I miss
As
my
she
daddy.
as she leads you outside, across the well manicured lawn to the edges of the hedge maze. Once again, a portal opens in the hedge, and you see what looks like secret garden of a room, and in its center, a Fey portal, much like you have seen once before, Kindred and Sonder and Arjun. I don't know if you've seen a Fey portal, but I think you have.
I'm sure he would have on his
Um,
own.
I mean, I would figure in his history he's seen some, and then we saw some actually back in the Yearwood, but they were more like wildly, randomly occurring things.
Yeah. This is
Yeah, they were
like
just like fissures and
Yeah.
space
Plus,
time.
I think
Yeah.
part of my daily briefing, I probably would have been shown this thing at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know about the one that we got through.
Yeah. So yeah, you would recognize a Fey portal. She looks to everyone. Well, if you ever need anything, make sure you speak to Audrin first. Maybe you can plan a little visit. I do like surprises, but make sure I know you're coming first.
Thank you.
Sure. Chin up, little one. She looks at Kindred. I'm sure all will be well. She looks at Iskra. You take care of yourself. And the rest of you as well. She looks over at Lyri. Until that fateful day.
It'll be a grand party.
I haven't been hunting in some time.
You simply must.
Maybe. She snaps her fingers and the portal begins to move and activate as the stones lift from the ground and kind of place themselves in a roughly circular pattern. And the energy begins to coalesce this rose-colored hue. And you're able to pass through one by one. As you
He'll let
Go
them
ahead.
go all first. And he just wants one last moment with her by himself. And just enjoy her actual presence rather than the implication of her presence like he normally gets. He'll just hold her hands. He'll give her a soft peck on the lips. Forehead against forehead. And then when she lets him, he'll walk through.
one
Archer, it's been 6 months.
They get
Yeah,
their
he
6
walks
months.
through. It's like it's a
84
brand new
years.
apocalypse. Where have you been?
You guys pass through
Remember your
into.
training and you will make it back alive.
You make it back to Atet into the Fey portal area. Those of you who had passed through first, there are a couple of the guards here in Atet that had immediately like blades at the ready to see who was coming through unannounced.
It's
And
us.
see-
It's us.
And then upon all of your arrival, you're able to relax for the time. Recounting your adventures to those
Before
who...
we all part ways, I would like
Yeah.
to say to Ardrin.
Yeah.
Don't let what's in your pocket keep for too long. You know things don't last as long in the mortal plane. And then she'll just
I immediately
cut
pull
off.
out the tissue I stole. Looks fine.
Oh wow.
I actually imagine a Galil in character from off camera saying that exact thing. Like, yeah, no, this tracks.
He just like walks up with a glass of wine and to hear that and is like,
It walks out the camera. Oh wow. Just keeps going.
Not even here. Don't bother me. It is Friday after 5 o'clock. You people do not exist.
It's not my
Kind of
shift.
just give her this half squint and just let her have her little comment, whatever it means. Intuit a few meanings to it, but he's going to leave it where it is. Because ultimately, that's his business.
After
now
that
it's
little
back to work.
shenanigans, if foiling, is it like, what time is it?
It has
What year
been
is
it has been 2 days after you arrived at the other place. So it hasn't been too long.
Wait, arrived at where?
Since you
Since
had
we
arrived at
departed?
the-
yeah.
because
Okay.
we stayed there watching for a few days.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to
Yeah.
like make
So
sure all
2
my
days,
time's like back
yes.
in file.
So yeah, it's probably in total it's been
Yeah, it's been
almost a week, maybe. A week's 10
Okay.
days. So you're looking at more like 6 or 7 by this
okay,
point.
but like
since
more or
you've been
less
gone.
like when we get back into the attack, like what time is it? Is it like nighttime?
Oh,
Evening.
I'm gonna put it at twilight because that always seems to be the witching
Twilight.
hour, right at the sun setting or the dawn. It always seems to be like the times when the Fey portals are the
And
strongest. So
Shenanigan time. I beseech Leary and Tempest, and we go find somewhere where we can get a lot of drinks. And I just kind of. So what was that? What was the deal? Tell me.
Tempest just like what for the at the first kind of plays it coy. What do you mean?
I just like push the drink in front of him.
He doesn't.
It's all
drink
out.
it.
Yeah, it's all out in the open now. Just
He deserves the truth.
There was only one way to do it.
so that was what I thought it was. Did he suffer?
No. Not as much as he made others.
So I heard hints at that from Galil. Was he more? I mean, I'm no angel. Was he more like my father than who I like to think?
He looks down. I spent a lot of time watching him. He was his father's son. A lot more than you.
Just kind of look at Larry for confirmation. Well, I guess y'all picked the good twin. And
So far, he raises an eyebrow.
And while we don't always get to choose our family, I like to think I made some great selections on my own. And I'll just raise a glass to y'all.
To that, he finally gets the glass and drinks.
And then we'll just kind of kick it, chill, whatever.
Okay. Go ahead, Arjun.
Just on getting back, Arjun would have set about finding someone to either find out if Illy has already made it back or to send her a message to head on back.
No
But
to the
we're
first
okay.
part. Yes to the second part.
She's there waiting.
She just, she doesn't know. She has to wait for you or some word to get to her. Needless to say, it is not a very nice couple of words, but she is glad that you
I'm
are
not the one
alive.
that has to send them.
Just gone through so many sticks.
No, there are. I mean, there are just. It's passed back to you from whoever, whichever mage is the one who sent it, be it Neferu, Kindred, or otherwise. They just do the eyes like.
He would have gone to Neferu probably, because this would have been like immediately after they got back.
Yeah.
And then at that point, Arjun would have gone to set about finding a nice little welcome home gift for Illy when she does come back.
A bundle of cigarettes.
Cigarettes, smoked meats, because we talked about this before.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just some other good, I don't know, like a pumice stone for her bunions. I don't know, just something to brighten her day.
Can
A bottle of not Fey wine.
can I get her like a novelty calendar?
What, like Gnomes Gone Wild or something?
Yes. Yep.
Oh no!
She'll do it that way. She plays.
I gotta imagine there's
I'm.
now that Atez started rebuilding, there's got to be some sort of bodega with a top shelf of magazines to
Yeah.
go to for that. So
It's the twin the boys are running it. No.
oh, that's terrifying. Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, I'll get her one of those and just like, yeah, that'll be funny.
Okay. Easy peasy for sure. You can give some little gifts. Just see some toys. Oh no. Okay. So, Galil, in your recounting of stories, do you tell Borovar everything that you have done?
Yeah. Everything.
And he listens. Once the doesn't ever interrupt you, just lets you talk the entire time. And once you have caught him up on everything, it is now time for his side. It wasn't probably the best story. The recounting of being captured by what bandits had survived in the following year of torture before he was finally able to make his escape. Spending time roaming the north. Something akin to being ashamed to return, having allowed himself to get captured. Setting up with followers of Saloon and getting involved in the hunt of those who gave in to their curse of transformation, where he had spent most of the years doing that, tracking down those who had the curse of lycanthropy, those who would not try to control it and give in to their more primal urges, before hearing word of a rebellion that was fighting an empire that was beginning to eat away at Faerun. Thanks, Allie, for the posture check. Doesn't count because she's standing. Rude, but yes. And then hearing word of an ASMR hunter, a ranger, and the relocation of the Gur tribe to a floating city. It had taken him some time before he was able to reach contacts with enough knowledge to get him here. And by the time he reached here, Thayday had come and gone. You've done a lot.
Yeah, been through a lot.
Have you talked to, it looks up at the sky, or the ceiling, because you're in the room, but any of the family?
My mother recently.
How is she doing?
She's doing good. She's doing what she can up there.
Just like you seem to be doing what you can down here. You turned out all right.
I had someone raise me the right way.
I wonder who could have done that. Kind of like puts his arms back in that like very proud of himself sort of way.
Yeah, Grandma Shuja does teach you some manners every now and then.
She hasn't changed a bit. You know she threw a pan at me when I walked through the door?
You kind of deserved it, don't you think?
I don't see why. Alright, maybe I can. So what are you gonna do now?
I have something in mind. But I think we're gonna need a drink
We're all alcoholics.
before I tell you.
Oh boy. He settles in for whatever you might have in store.
And we're gonna pan out, and it's just gonna be me and him talking.
All right. Iskra, upon your return, it is not too much longer before Atet comes running to you. Embraces you in the streets as you're walking back to wherever you were headed. Kisses you.
Surrender too.
Kisses you tenderly. I thought you were gone.
I'm not leaving just yet.
You disappeared for some time, you know. We sent word to Illy, and she hadn't heard from you for a day or two, I think.
Things got a little unusual. I don't know if you've ever been to the Feywild, but
No, I have not. I guess we'll have to add it to the list.
between Kindred and Ardren, they saved us, but we took a bit of a detour.
You'll have to tell me all about it.
What have you been up to here? I mean, other than worrying about me.
Let me show you. She takes you to a recently constructed little garden that you guys had been working on. Now, thanks to the druids, it is now fully secret gardened, as the plants along the side. Good job, Graham. Brilliant. The druids have now put like this very verdant and soft layer of like grass on the ground, so it's like just comfy. It makes you feel like you're walking on clouds, pillows. The walls are covered in aromatic flowers, with a nice wall left bare for the evening plans that you had made for Elaine. Everything is set. Better than you could have anticipated.
This is gorgeous.
Well, I had some time. Whenever you're ready.
I can go get her.
Okay.
Can you find the others?
Of course.
Meet you back here. Race you.
You'll lose. She runs, and you see immediately from herself, like 3 other projections of herself, like split off in different directions as they go and find everybody else that you have.
It's supermarket sweep.
They'll take off in different directions. You start parkouring through the city, Assassin's Creed style, trying to get to your your target destinations. So for this little evening, who all are you bringing to this moment?
I did invite Khalil, and I asked Saundra if he would write something. You know what? Kindred's now just been through it too, so why not? And you know what? We're gonna invite the team. So Arjun, I want you to be there as well. But then it's gonna be Elaine, Leary, who was just with us, Danissa, like to be there. Grandma Illie's not back yet, otherwise I would invite her.
There.
So, but yeah, not a super big group, but a few people who are close to Elaine and people who are close to us, or who've been particularly affected.
I can go get Granny.
You need someone to fly the ship back.
Well, the boys have it. I figured.
The boys aren't there. They didn't go.
Oh, I thought they. Okay, never
Oh,
mind.
Fanch, definitely Fanch. I mean, she got the blankets for us.
Just put it on autopilot. No.
Put on autopilot. Then you see the airship go, but oh no!
Bindred, come here. I need you. No.
Right?
But yeah, I need to keep it relatively small because, I mean, technically this is like contraband that I'm showing. So
That's fair too.
Also, originally wasn't it meant to be slightly more like a core girls' night?
it
kind of
was
thing?
going to be,
Yeah.
but
Granny is a girl. No.
for player reasons, I would like the other characters who are actually here to be involved in this scene. So I've expanded the group a
Yeah,
little.
the reason why I'm asking is if there's a moment where it kind of seems like it's meant to be just like 3 or 4 people specifically, Arjun would be paying attention to when they kind of like sidestep and let them have their thing and just
All right.
go to the bar.
And Iskra trusts Arjun to be able to usher any others away. So
Hey, Kindred, look at this teleport.
Boom! Back to the Feywild.
You mean tell who?
So
thank
boop. Okay. So, setting up a nice evening, the gang gathers in this little secret garden hidden away within the city of Atet. one of the
I bring
large
figs.
one of the large circular arbiters kind of floats above the outside of the wall and broadcasts down onto the plain wall a bunch of illusionary images. Sonder plays his music that he has written to go along with the scenes that are seen there.
So I figure we're gonna start with the comedy, and then a very very Buster Keaton. Everyone can laugh; it's timeless. And then we'll shift probably to the one of the amazing manta ray like creatures. Very just calming, at the end of the night after that.
All right.
And there are the blankets set up everywhere that there's like baskets of them where people can grab extras to like put on top of themselves, but then also if they want to sit, they've got that too. And then of course the snacks.
Nachos.
And yeah, I'll sit there leaning on a tet, and we'll watch this movie.
Leary's gonna sit next to Denissa.
I sit next to Bendred.
Galil will show up later.
Okay.
I'll have Elaine come sit with us. I was going to get her after all. So.
Yeah. As the evening unfolds in the nice, cool, crisp air, let's see here. You guys settle in for watching these little films, these strange creatures that look alien and fantastic. Products of magic and imagination. It's one of those weird things where you're like, you think that in a world of fantasy and wonder, the bizarre may not feel as bizarre because magic exists, and therefore the limits of your imagination and the arcane kind of make anything and everything possible. So while yes, this technically is kind of contrabandy, at the same time, who is to say, that this isn't just the wild imaginings of wizards high on mushrooms, It's just like,
I feel like during the monster movie, Leary looks at Dennis and is like, I haven't killed that. Have you killed that? How have we not killed that?
I would like to say, if I kind of got an idea of what this like girls' night, as we've like progressed on through, I would have eventually started like not dosing people, but like passing off like maybe some like fun night hallucinogens for a good time.
Oh no.
Would you
Everyone's
be
getting
Nothing
glad
serious.
that it's
Yeah, nothing
I will
serious. Just like
partake.
a good time mushrooms. Not anything like the one I had. I got it from a salesperson.
You
So we
Strawberries
know they're
just
like
pops out.
GMO friendly and all that.
This is the secret market of the druids on the druidic side of a tet. You ask for the really good stuff that
I
they
mean,
make.
they're the circle of the spores, right?
You've given me so many good friends, Kindred.
I feel like the second that Kindred would give one of these to Arjun, it would just like passing it over to Sonder, like give it to Mike. He might be able to eat anything.
Oh,
Sorry.
but I should know what amount everyone should take.
You did no, you did
Oh
not
my-
handle that microdose, but I figured like
Oh,
after
wow.
everyone's kind of like high and buzzing, as I'm like watching this, maybe I just like unconsciously just think of strawberry.
Okay. I will say that there is like the slightest little tingle in the back of your mind as you kind of just like
I kind of look at
Feel
Sonder
the
there
c-
with us.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I kind of like look over to Sonder and just like smile, like that high smile.
Oh no. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. as things, what are you gonna say, Sander?
Go get like popcorn or a snack for something, so the injured can like snack on that for a little bit, just to take care of him if we have something like that.
Yeah, for
Good.
sure.
I'm like,
For
it's
sure.
a good
Here you
vibe.
go, buddy.
I will say that as the evening wears out and everyone's had themselves a really good time, and some people start to file out and go back to back to their homes, Elaine goes to Iskra and Natet. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. It was a very pleasant evening. It was nice to be among those that are friends and those that I've known for so long.
We're here for you. Oh, we want you to know that.
I know. She looks up at the 13 stars that are new in the sky. And I know that they're still there too. I appreciate the
They
effort.
are. Whatever we do next, it'll be in their spirit.
For a little bit there, I felt like she was here with us.
I don't doubt that she was.
I'd like to think so anyway. Anyway, once again, I appreciate everything and everyone for coming and spending some quiet time. Well, mostly quiet time. She looks over at Sonder and the music, but you know what I mean. Have a good night.
You're a great friend, Elaine.
I try and be. It's all we have sometimes. And she turns and walks out into the streets to go home.
Can I catch up to her?
Sure.
And I just humbly approach her, and just kind of for old time's sakes, in her head, she just hears me say, "How have you been?"
I've been fine. A lot better than some. She kind of looks over at you with a smirk.
And can I walk with you? And I just probably like walk with her, make sure. Is she going home like in a taxi?
Yeah, she's going home.
Okay, just kind of like walk her home. And strangely enough, just being in silence with her for that time, and then just give her a big hug and just say, and tell her I miss her a lot. You both helped me.
As much trouble as you were, you were still spoken of well enough. She knew how important you and the others were from the very beginning, before it all started.
I don't know how she knew it, because even I didn't believe that, but she knew how to see the best in everyone.
That she did.
Don't be a stranger.
I won't. Good night.
Good night.
She goes to her room.
And I'll just walk back to the main castle.
Okay.
I'll turn
ahead.
to a Tet
God
real
damn it,
quick.
Graham.
So, how do you think it went?
Do you want my honest answer?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Oh.
If I know Elaine as much as I have over the last year, this is definitely a step in the right direction. And is, on a physical side, the happiest she's been since everything happened.
Good. She's seemed so lost lately. I wanted. We can't take that feeling away, but maybe we can give her a little break, you know?
It will take time, but these sort of things help a lot. Don't forget to take time for yourself as well.
Oh, I plan on taking plenty of time.
Good. Shall we?
Let's. I'll get up and take her hand, and she can just phase up if she wants to, but that's fine.
This is her physical self. All right.
So, and we don't have to answer this part, but when we're asleep, do you actually sleep?
Yes? Would you rather I say that I watch you sleep all night?
I'd be alright with that.
I'll add it to the list then.
I mean, we do kind of live. You're the place, so.
Less so now than it used to be. After a fashion. Let's just say I can choose now to sleep.
Then I'm glad you choose to spend time with me.
I wouldn't trade it for anything. And she
Just
leaves.
keep walking.
Yep. Adrian, what do you do?
Probably help clean up a tiny bit. Not that I imagine there's gonna be some utter mess left behind, so maybe where Kindred was tripping out, but
There's snack wrappers laying everywhere.
it's like ripped up erasers for some reason.
I don't litter, bitch. I put my shopping cart back.
Scoop it onto the bag of holding.
Just scoop it in there.
Yeah, and it's kind of just him kind of come to peace a little bit with his role in some like weird roundabout fashion. And yeah, he'll maybe walk back with Sonder. I think the last week or two he's probably hung out with him the most, outside of maybe hung out with Sonder, whereas he probably sees Iskra and Galil a lot for work as a result.
He keeps trying to convert you.
He's got his own upkeep. But yeah, he'll probably just walk quietly with Sonder back to wherever they end up parting ways, or where that happens to be, and just give him a quiet sort of like, Fast and Furious pat on the back, no words, and just kind of just veer off into the night in different directions. Somewhere in the distance, somebody says family. And yeah, he'll go back to that. Everything I want to do later, but this is more just
Okay.
something else.
Sonder, what are you doing?
Defending myself from Louis at the moment.
You what?
That would have been good though to walk with Orchard. But sorry, he just keeps like biting my arm every time I put him back down.
Arjun
Hold on,
doesn't
give me a
bite
second.
unless you
No, you're good.
ask.
You're good. You're good. I will say that Leary, what are you go to do something? Are you doing anything or just kind of settling in for the night?
I'll probably just walk back with Danissa and be like, Danissa, I think we've made actual real friends. Like, not how the Fae do it, just real friends.
These people.
That was perfect. In a good way.
These people don't live as long as us. They have reason to make connections like this. You're
I'd
right.
rather enjoy it.
We can stay as long as we like. Though, we both have a reason to go back. And when you're ready,
Eventually.
I will be ready too.
You're fine.
Someone's ready to go back right now.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. A few things before we go to break. Let me get the appropriate thing going. Where is my mind?
While you're doing that, I just want to say I'm so happy Iskra of all people got to have her Citadel DLC moment.
Mhm.
Yes, me too.
You're walking past the attack at Petco.
The Taco.
Beautiful.
Oh, good one,
Beautiful.
Taco.
Okay.
A Petco, where the pets go.
Mhm. As you, Iskra,
Yes.
are getting ready for bed.
Ted, have you seen my toothbrush?
I think you left it on the reclaimer.
Ah, damn.
There's a
Can I
knock
use
on.
yours? Do you have a toothbrush?
Get into the real questions now. Do you have a toothbrush?
Oh, this is
listen,
when
you
you
just.
find out that she presses the toothpaste from the middle.
You're just like,
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Squish.
Relationship.
We need to talk about something.
Beautiful. There's a knock on the door.
I'll get it. I go ahead and head over to the door.
You open the door and Lady Morn is standing there.
Lady Morn, come in. I didn't expect you to knock.
Well, there's someone who wishes to speak with you.
All right. I'm gonna grab my coat off of the hanger and quick put it on.
We won't be gone long.
All right.
Before we go, a question. Do you have the circlet?
Who did we leave it in possession with?
I
This
have
last time.
it.
Okay. The kindred's hanging on to it. One of my traveling companions and friends.
She looks over.
I think
Looks
you
back at you.
Maybe you saw him briefly. One night aboard the Reclaimer.
I know who he is. Shall we?
Hey, Shireen, I've got to go for a bit. I'll be right back though.
Okay. You hear from the other room. You know, she knows.
She knows.
She sees everything.
I know she does, but
Yeah,
I felt
yeah.
polite.
Yeah. You close the door. She puts a hand on your shoulder. Takes out a small green orb with a shard. And it goes, opens up a portal. Kindred, in your room, a portal
I have a
opens.
question for you. So fucking okay. I was legit gonna ask you if Tempest was there.
Probably
and the
not.
Night of everything. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of answers. I would have asked him like straight up, like if he's not doing anything for the next few days, if he would like to make a eat pray Ruvian trip with me to go deliver something.
We'll say that as you were thinking about it in your room, you're taking out the circlet and you have it like on your workbench or your work desk,
Just like looking at the part where it says property of Banan, just like laughing.
and then the portal opens, and
The fuck?
and you see Iskra and another woman walk through the portal into your room.
Sorry to stop by unannounced. I know it's late.
And I'm tripping. Who is it? Wait,
She
is she there?
she extends a hand. She goes, "You have property that does not belong to you. We are here to return it."
Is she like motioning towards the circlet, like obvious?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Iskra?
Oh,
Who is she?
She's my boss.
That's your Lady Morn?
Yes.
My apologies, as I'm still kind of reserved about her. Because I imagine she's taller than me, like quite a bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Just intimidating in general.
Yeah.
The black ooze going down her, the smoky ooze that kind of comes down from her beneath her bandaged eyes. The 3 green glowing orbs that you see on her face.
I was actually just thinking about going asking Tempest if we wanted to go to Ruvian and give it to him. You're gonna take it to him now?
Yes.
Kind of like, I know she's watching it. Look at Iskra. Is she legit?
I nod.
Okay.
We're like a really weird version of Bill and Ted.
Beautiful.
What
Yeah,
number is she thinking of right now?
Sure. Put it back in its like the case, like how they do like beauty pageants shit. This silk pillow and give it to. Sure. Iskra, are you going to Ruvian?
I'm not sure of the plan exactly. But, I mean, not being so sure of the plan got me this far, so.
Were you going to Ruvian?
Yes.
Can I come?
No.
Thought so. Iskra, make sure she gets it to her non. Don't let her put it on.
She knows.
Okay.
She turns and
Bye.
she starts the portal once again, and she turns to you.
Counter spell. No,
I need you to make a wisdom saving
I'm
throw.
not doing that.
I do need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, is she gonna Men in Black him?
Saving throw.
Mhm.
It's gonna be a 20.
You sit at your desk and you smile, remembering how wait, what were you thinking about? You start working on some of your spell work. Sometimes your mind wanders.
And then Mouse comes out and tells me everything, and I know.
Bindred, the
twist.
door goes like, and Bindred is behind the
The
door,
other
like
side
in
of the
corner.
Just looking the whole time.
It's like, Kindred, I have to talk to you.
As we get to that, once we get back from the break, I have one last little thing to do as well. One more little setup for the next half. Galil, when you finally arrive back to your room,
Yeah.
it's been a long
Is
night.
Ferris still alive?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's druids taking care of things. They're like the groundskeepers now, although they take care of the animals and the water the plants. The shadows creep in your room a little longer than they normally do. You're immediately on guard as you feel something. A presence. A shadowy specter seems to form from the shadows in a humanoid form as it kind of swirls up slowly. It goes up and up 5 feet, 6 feet, 7, and then it finally branches off. The shadowy form that you have seen a few times when the old liches of the Red Wizard like to be imposing.
I've left a gift for you. Something that rightfully belongs to you and yours.
What is it?
Look. There by your seat, you will find a chest. See for yourself.
I remain alert and keep my eyes on her and go to the chest.
In the chest, it opens and you see the things that you were missing. All of your party's belongings.
Finally kept your end of the deal, huh? Amaranth.
That's not Amaranth.
You mistake me for my apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I am Dendratha.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We kept our side of the bargain. Just as you did yours. I'm sure you have many questions. And I have the time to answer. Shall we have a chat?
Take a seat.
Good. Thank you for your permission.
There's a knock on the door.
Mother
The shadows disappear.
Who is it? I walk over to it.
It's me. You may open up.
I open the door.
Hello. It's good to meet you in the flesh.
You see in front of you a elven-looking woman. White hair. Black robes with tinges of dark red within them. She bows.
Lady Dithratha. I was allowed to come in?
By all means.
And she walks in as you close the door, and we go to break.
Break that neck.
Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to see this. All right. I don't know. I used to do that for a while when I was watching a lot of Bob's Burgers, and then it went away, and now it's come back.
Details. Just give me those details.
All right. So last we left off with all of the crazy things happening all at once. Let's
I
see.
was talking to Yzma.
Basically.
So, we're gonna sneak out of the flying city and,
Beautiful. I will say, first things first. We are
I'm the realist.
before we deal with the Galil and Denthrotha situation. We have another thing to deal with. For that, I need to change the music, and also I need to turn you Picasso real quick. There we go.
Oh, look who just zapped in.
we're putting the band back together.
Yay! We're just
We're
missing
on a
one.
mission from Afriel.
Yeah.
All right, let me.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Riff,
That's why he
raff,
was sitting
street
in
raff.
there.
No. All right, there we go. I fixed everybody. I think everyone's exactly where they need to be. Yes. Okay. So. Oh, God damn it, Kindred. I literally was like, oh God, what did I do? You bitch.
Hanging out.
Just chilling.
Hanging
You're being
out.
a bad influence.
There we go. Now it fits a little better. Okay. Iskra,
Yes.
after you watch Lady Morn pull the strand of memory from Kindred, speak words into it, and then replace it back in his mind, she has the circlet and she hands it over to you. I will keep keep it as brief as possible, but for the meantime, Guardian, the portal is yours. And she looks at her arm, raises it up, and opens up another portal. And this time, instead of darkness, it opens up in brilliant light. Renan, describe what Iskra sees on the other side of this portal.
On the other side of the portal, you see a very large, open, what almost seems like a cave, but with seemingly no walls except for large stone pillars. Outside of those stone pillars is open sky. And in the center is a large circular pool with an oculus just as large above it. Standing at the oculus, looking up through the hole in the sky, Renan stands in a far more elaborate attire than you had ever seen him. And on his shoulders are a set of pauldrons that seem to be made out of metal, but also somehow organic, seeming like they would be made of feathers, but it just couldn't be. And the skirt on the ground seems to move in every puff of wind. And slowly, while looking at the sky, he turns and looks over at the portal that has just opened.
Special delivery.
It is a pleasure to see you again after so long.
I'm gonna kind of like, not quite a jog, but like, quick step over to him and give him a big hug.
In open arms, with some level of getting pushed by the air when you collided with him, he hugs you back.
I feel like I'm underdressed.
No. Never. It is truly so good to see you. I wished I could have communicated sooner, but so much has happened in the last year.
A year?
I see. I suppose Lady Morn did not want to distract me.
It's been a few weeks.
Not for me, but I'm certainly glad that you had time to deal with your things while other tasks fell to others.
We're still in the midst of it. The war's over, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
I'm glad what I did worked.
We're so thankful for it. We thought for a while that we lost you.
In a way you did. And in a way, I wasn't gone, but I just couldn't be there.
You're a statue now, actually, at a memorial.
Wait a minute. You made me out of stone.
Oh, what else would you suggest?
Yeah.
Nothing. I appreciate the sentiment, of course. And to be perfectly honest, when I did what I did, I didn't know if I would be coming back here. I just knew that I couldn't let all of you sacrifice yourselves. Did everyone make it out okay?
We're all right. Yeah. Not everybody we know. Afriel and the 12. Fume.
Oh. That is unfortunate. As for Afriel and the 12, it had to happen that way.
Lady
Lo-
Morn hasn't told me everything, but I haven't asked. But I do know that there's a course ahead of me, I guess, of all of us.
Yes, there is. You will learn more in time. At present, never take for granted the time that you do not have a duty before you. Do whatever you can. And if or when you ever leave to go on another quest, I have something for you as well. And he reaches out his left arm, the one with the tattoo on it. Would you grasp arms with me?
I'll take his arm with my tattooed arm.
And as you grab hold, you feel a slight jolt of electricity as his tattoo lights up. And there's a faint glow that comes off of yours. Letting go, he runs his finger over the tattoo. And as he does, you hear his voice in your mind. And now, you can contact me if ever you have need.
Will you come?
To almost anywhere. But it will be very difficult for me to ever be able to return whence you have just come.
Then, I'll just use it to tell you how things are going, then. You can tell me how things are here in Ruvian. That is where we are, right?
Yes. This is the Temple of the Sky, the only temple of Hirsunos to ever have been built. It is free. It flies around the world, and no follower of Hirsunos is ever tied down here. Should you ever need to, you may also come to the pool. But know this. Your time here must be spent under the same kinds of rules as many of the other worlds. We cannot overmuchly interfere, even though I perhaps did more than I should have in Faerun.
Well, whatever the case, I'm glad that you did.
As am I. I do have something else for you. And he reaches into a small bag on his hip and pulls out a pendant. It looks very similar to Hirsunos' pendant, but is different in that it only has the one metal wing. And I am about to put it in campaign art.
Dope.
And hanging from the side of the pendant are also two feathers.
I'll take it in my hand, admire it for a while.
You always carried around a symbol of waves. Why not a symbol of the sky, too?
I have grown a bit more comfortable with it. Thank you for teaching me. I'll kind of do a little twist and make the wind around here spin around us momentarily.
Thank you for being such a good friend. And student where it was merited.
I know I can be a little difficult.
Perhaps, but weren't we all? I would ask only that you tell everyone that I will be okay where I am. And that should they ever want to hear from me, there are ways. But that I cannot return, at least not for now. Death leaves a stain on the soul.
Iskra's smile turns to seriousness. I understand.
And on that note, try not to die. It hurts. Lots.
Maybe this will help ease this thing a little. Let me give you what I was here for. And I present the circlet. May I? Place it on his head.
The spell goes off.
Shut up.
Because that was the decoy.
For so long I have yearned for it. The one shred of my early life that I have held on to and can't ever seem to let go. Thank you so much.
It's good to be a little sentimental.
Occasionally. And I do have one other thing. And I take out a quill that is of a kind of feather as same kind as the ones hanging off the amulet, just significantly larger. I would say give this to Kindred and make sure he knows that even now I will have to hear his words.
I'll let him know.
Thank you for coming to see me, and I hope you return again.
If I ever find any good wine in Faerun, I'll send it your way.
Ah! And I walk over to a bag that is sitting up against one of the tall pillars.
Oh no.
Franzia.
And I pull out a bag of wine.
It's a little
From a
bottle,
bag.
cardboard bag.
Yep, it.
Well, that is all that Renan has on him here.
It's
is
fine. It's
the
beautiful
bag.
though. It's a beautiful
And
image.
And he comes back over. In Ruvian, elves always have the good wine. And he hands the bottle to you.
Thank you, Renan. I better get going. Lady Morn didn't want me to stay too long.
Of course.
With gifts in hand, I'll give him another hug. And then turn to leave.
You see the portal is still there, swirling.
Hey, Renan. Thank you again for everything, I say, turning one last time before I go through.
And you hear as he rubs his hand across the tattoo again as you're walking through the portal. Always, my friend, in your head.
then I'll go ahead and step through.
Or you're gonna say, Galil? Is it pertinent to this or something?
Just off topic, but does Renan, by any chance, realize that the light engine is gone?
Well,
Nobody-
that is a whole other topic.
No, but he does remember having put it back once he got it back from the knights.
Yes. So
That was-
Yes, not modified at all.
Why is there duct tape on this?
Wait, so you just did what I did to your crowbar, and you're mad at me for that?
Beautiful.
I wasn't the one that messed it up.
I wasn't the one that messed it up either.
Play the VOD.
I love it. But yeah, that is a topic for another time. But yes, he knows that it is
Another
gone.
miniseries.
He knows that it was gone and it is now safely back where it needs to be. And that's spent the last year ironing out all of those wrinkles.
That poor Spice Lady's been in so much therapy.
Oh my god.
every gust of wind, she's just like, no.
And he found a strange garden next to a warehouse. How
No, it was
odd.
inside the warehouse, actually.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
quite
inside.
beautiful.
My apologies.
Beautiful indeed. All
He's
right.
got deep posts that are like anchored deep into the ground that our cart is stuck to now.
She's like, brick and mortar from now on, no more cards ever again. Oh my gosh, that poor
And
spice bread lady.
I forget, did I ever... No, I did not teach Iskra any of the Ruvian Elvish. So on that bottle of wine that I gave her, there's Elven lettering, Ruvian Elven lettering, saying Wine of the Loon.
Which you can read if you activate your tattoo.
Mhm.
Or I could just read it.
Which Iskra tends to do
A lot.
not unawares.
She's gonna go through the next 100 years of her life just forgetting to turn it off.
He's like, I just
She's
could
still
read
stuck on
everything. Yeah.
Man, I don't know
Or
why him.
worse, it's always
Everything
on.
just
She
comes
says,
so
everywhere I
easily
go,
to me.
speak
I don't
common.
get it. I'm some kind of language savant, Atet.
I don't understand. I can read everything.
I speak jive. No. My name is
Oh.
Bones.
Oh my god. Throwback. All right. So, Iskra, you return back to Atet. And as you step through, Lady Morn closes the portal. I see you have brought a few souvenirs.
Renan was very generous. This one is for Kindred. And I take the quill. Hold
Am
it
I
up.
just like slobbering while she's just like has her finger pointed at me?
No, but we'll say that in this little altered bubble of space-time as she leaves, Iskra, you see Kindred is just kind of like frozen in the moment. Or would you want to give this to him later, or do you want to just like secretly place it somewhere where he'll find it?
Yeah, I can explain at some point if he questions it, but I'll go ahead and put it somewhere where he can find it.
Nice. Cool. All right. As you are returned, anything that you want to ask Lady Mormon as she takes you back to your abode?
Only if she has anything for me next. That, you know, the mission with Kindred's dad is over.
Sometimes, Guardian, there are tasks that you must do as a knight. Unpleasant things, but things that need to be done nonetheless. I hope you have learned much over these past few days. Things are not always as they appear, and sometimes they are exactly so. It will be in your hands that judgment must be made. But I think that you are on the right path.
I appreciate it. I'm trying to stick to it as best I can.
Allow yourself to rest. Your training will resume in time.
Thanks for letting me deliver the circlet back to Renan.
It was important for you to see him once again and understand. Good night, Guardian.
Good night.
As she leaves you in your place, and she goes back to hers, we go over to Galil. Or, actually, if he's quiet, let's take advantage of this opportunity as Sonder is, for the moment, the baby is sleeping or otherwise pacified. Sonder, what did you want to do? You said you had wanted, was there something that you had wanted to talk about with Ardrin as you guys were walking, or something else entirely?
It would have just been that. That's fine.
Okay.
Nothing particular.
Rewind.
Okay.
It's all the same night. It's fine.
Mhm.
Time is wibbly wobbly. These events are all happening.
So as we're walking, you've been doing great, taking care of us here in Atet. I don't know what it was like before because you didn't stay here for very long before having to go off on adventures and whatnot, but so far, you've been doing good.
I feel like it's just doing what I always do, which is just running around trying to put out fires that have been going for a while.
Yeah.
But thanks.
Allocating the druids to take care of the plants and the animals was a good idea.
Arjun's gonna pretend that that was absolutely his idea, and he'll be like, "Yeah, all my doing." And just wink at it. Like, it's a lot to get used to. A lot of, and yet a lot of it is eerily familiar. I mean, wasn't all hedge mazes and tea parties back in the Feywild when I used to live there, but a certain amount of that I think has at least prepared me for being able to navigate the people when they're trying to figure out what to do and negotiate contracts and treaties. And at least there I kind of feel like I'm somewhat in my element.
When you would guide people out, back when you worked with the underground, did that ever end? Are there other people that still need to get out?
From what I understand, it was very local to help me out here. Beltalar, was that the
Mhm.
the town? Yeah. I imagine we got all we could have out of Beltalar and some of the surrounding areas. And once, their leadership kind of collapsed, quite literally, and then not much longer, and then the Thayan collapse. I imagine there's not too much work to do there, but trying to relocate the displaced. Some of them are here.
Yeah. I'm wanting to get with those that worked in that field. And see what Princess can do to help. Aside from building the monastery, trying to free people from what evil is still lurking around in they and elsewhere.
Yeah, I know one of the places we're gonna have to check back in on is Hamrutlar.
Right.
So
Oof.
the war's over, but there's still a lot of picking up pieces. Making sure that the war's over for everyone, not just us.
That cave that we were in, there's hundreds of other places like it still.
Stepping back at a cave. Sorry, refresh my memory just so I'm on the same page.
The hammer.
Yeah, when we're heading to the Hammer.
Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of still buried secrets that we're going to be spending a while uncovering. So, never really ends. But, how are you doing? What are you doing after all this? I mean, are you sticking around here for the long term, or?
I'll be building the monastery here. I left this small fortune in one of the destroyed monasteries. And I'm just planning to try to restart the order for now.
There's a lot of lost people out there kind of looking for what suits their beliefs. I'm sure they find them.
My mother was a follower of Bahamut. That's how I ended up in the monastery in the first place. And Bahamut showed me that she is still alive somewhere. I thought she had perished deep below in the dark depths of the ocean. But she survived somehow. He showed me that much.
That's fantastic.
I need to go to the City of Spells. I still need to figure that out. Maybe ask the others, but we've been so busy with everything we've been doing and trying to get Max back.
You might know.
Is that still on the Sea of Stars, or?
It's further south near Kalimshan.
Oh,
or in
I
Kalimshan.
don't know. Well, I'm sure if anybody knows, it'll probably be Kendrick or somebody just with access to a map.
Oh.
We'll get you there. I think we all deserve some kind of cosmic pat on the back after everything we've been through, so.
An honor to have you go.
Go where I'm needed, I guess. We'll look into it. See what we can do.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
just-
Well,
We'll give him a little hug and pat on the back, and then send him on his way, and he'll kind of head on back to his place, wherever that is.
Alrighty. Meanwhile,
I've just been sitting there stirring tea.
with the feather that
She
you
goes to
didn't
take a drink
realize.
and it just goes right through her jaw.
Galil, as Dentharatha walks into your apartment, you see her look over at the chest that is sitting there.
As promised. Everything that was missing. You know, I never really fully imagined that I would be here.
I don't think anyone imagined you being here either.
Well, you remember the prophecy. The one
Of the
foretold.
12?
Yes. That was mine. I couldn't quite see how it would all turn out. All the pieces would fall. There was so much bloodshed between then and now, it was hard to really see. But, from what I understand, you've learned quite a bit when it comes to divination, haven't you?
Just a bit.
Hmm.
I don't really know exactly how to use it properly like y'all do.
There are tests to the limits of these powers. I assume it comes from your child god. Would you like to learn these limits?
Might as well.
The fuck?
I know that there's no love lost between you and Amaranth. So, I want you to be assured that she will not be part of the process. She is busy attending to other things.
And what other things is that?
Perhaps you'll be able to divine them yourself. Rest assured, I do not intend to go the way of my predecessors. World domination is much too finicky. And now with your new circle of stars above, far too many eyes for my taste. No, I intend to see what the future holds, as with all diviners. Once you're ready, as I know that you are not, I will tell you where to go, where you may find me. And know that once you arrive, you have my word. You will be safe. I will not harm you. Or any of the other members of the rebellion. I merely seek answers. feel like we could both provide each other with answers?
Answers to what, though?
On the questions of the universes. All in good time. For now, the payment as promised, and a future meeting of the minds. Do you?
Deal.
Motherfucker.
But
Excellent. Yes.
the brigade and everyone here is off limits to any of your future plans.
Of course. You have my word. Until we meet again.
She looks about the place, very much like just studying your abode.
Judging you.
Kind of. Goes to the door, lets herself out.
I go over there, lock it, and then Oreo. She flies down from up above.
Mm-hmm.
Remember her scent.
Ew.
Just in case.
Just in case. All right.
Where was our firewall? No. A tat?
Atet was busy.
Uh-huh.
There are lips.
This girl's like,
There are lips to this.
Ooh.
No, I'm not gonna
We
say it.
may have found a flaw.
full circle.
now I
Isn't
gotta
that
dash
how
it,
like
Iskra.
the lords of whatever fell?
Something like that. You never know. Oh my goodness.
He's awake.
Galil, that evening, while you sleep, marks the first time since Thay Day that Afriel reaches out to you.
You done fucked up.
You dream of Fandelver, or Phandalin, I guess is the name of the town.
Yeah, Phandalin.
Phandalin.
Where we found him.
The small cottage where a boy prodigy showed you a few powerful magic tricks.
Oh, that's fun.
You're doing well. You hear the voice. You don't see the person, but you hear the voice. There are others who have heard and that I have spoken to after a fashion. I know what you want to do. Are you sure?
I think it's the only way.
You know, once you go there, it'll be like before. I won't be able to see you.
I may have found a loophole to that now.
Maybe. Just be careful, Galil. That place is a dark one. A twisted place.
I know. Just while I'm gone, keep an eye on everyone.
I will do what I can. Do you make plans to travel solo?
I think I may know someone who can join.
When do you go to speak to her?
In the morning.
Come morning light, you go to Elaine's apartment. Knock on the door. And when she opens, so it was true then. I saw her last night. And she told me you'd come for me.
You were able to protect her while she was down here.
Not well.
Trust me, you did an amazing job. Can I count on you to do the same?
Till my dying breath. I'll get my things. Do you travel in secret?
Yes. Just me, her, and Oreo.
All right. We'll get to that in a moment.
How do y'all exit?
Guess you'll never know.
I might, depending on how he exited. No.
You're still
They forgot to unpause Kindred.
And no one's checked on him since.
It's like that scene in Stepford Wives where she's just like,
Over the next course of the day or two, Sonder, you learn the name Alnrevan, the city of spells. It is a city far to the south, near Kalimshan, or actually in Kalimshan. The city of spells is as you learn more, is a city made by and particularly catering to the Genasi people. It is a city that is rumored to sit on a key of elemental energy, a nexus point of the elemental planes. Finding its existence and having a pool to go towards it. Do you go?
Yeah, I would go. Absolutely. Wanting to bring a group that is willing to go alongside.
Okay. Well, whoever is wanting to go is able to go with you. The trip, we'll say, travel by airship. It's a few days to get there. Do you stop by the other monastery? The crumbled one at the edges of the Lake of Steam? Yeah?
Yeah, that'd be great, yeah.
You all, who is wanting to go?
I'm here to
Sonder
support
had-
my friends.
Yeah.
Sonder had specifically asked Arjun to go, so yeah.
For sure.
Am I invited to go?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just asking.
It's
Who
the
is
city
it?
of
No.
spells. I'd hope you'd want to go too.
Just having to irony, we're having to actually just sort of push Kindred through the city of spells, all like in a wheelbarrow full weekend at Bernie's.
Y'all
So
grab
much
Kindred
magic.
instead of Kindred. And I'm like, God damn it. No.
No, wrong twin. Oh my
You're so well
gosh.
behaved on this trip. We're gonna get you candy. It's fine.
Iskra. Even though Galil had disappeared a few days before these events, you were told by a grizzled old hunter man that he had gone away on a mission. Something of grave importance that he may or may not come back from. We'll say that there is a letter that has been given to you, be opened at the appropriate time, if he does not return.
Okay, yeah. When I initially heard the news, I'd be like, Jerk didn't even say goodbye.
I'm about to say, did you at least tell us the chest is there with our stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
the stuff would have
That
been
morning. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
bitch.
you
All
get-
7,000 of my metal jacks? No.
Yeah,
I would have
well,
just taken what was mine and then left the rest to y'all.
Okay. So then, yeah, you in that case, you would have gotten all of your items back from that
And
had
my
been
kite.
taken from you.
And
Good
when
to
I
know.
accepted the letter, I will have said, I plan not to need to open this. And put it in my
Bo-
pocket.
Borovar tells you, yeah, I kind of hope so too. In my mind, I don't know if this is true because we haven't really discussed what he looks like terribly much, but in my mind, he looks like a character from Red Dead Redemption. That's just what I'm planning in my mind.
Why not? It works.
Just kind of like that grizzled cowboy kind of
I get what
hunter
you
guy.
mean.
Yeah. So then on this trip to the elemental city, or the city of spells, Sonder.
Could I go into detail for the monastery?
Well, there's nothing.
A
It's
little.
still. I mean, it's still the empty cliffside.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would want to. He would receive visions from Bahamut as to what the monastery should look like, and then build a blueprint, and then the nearest town have the monastery commissioned to be built again.
Do you take us to the monastery?
I would take y'all to the monastery to get the money, and then we would go to a nearby town to have the
You
monastery.
take a moment to
recommissioned
like, explain it to us. Like, oh,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
good. If you do, in that moment, as you explain it, I would cast major image, and it's like you're in a virtual reality. You are there exactly how
What it would
you
look
explained
like.
it. Mhm.
That's cool. How long can you keep that up?
Don't worry about it. Just enjoy it.
The foreman.
He's got a point.
If major image lasts more than 4 hours.
Oh no! Please consult a physician. Anyhow,
I pull out the syringe. I guess we found out.
So yeah, that'll happen, and then we'll head out to the city of spells.
And once you have arrived at the city of spells, it is a miraculous looking place for all those who are seeing it. Definitely a place that Kindred you might want to stay a while and learn what you can.
I'm the one that disappears off on my own this time.
There you go.
I like to imagine that they're walking down whatever bazaar there is, and Arjun turns to look over at Kindred, and there's just this dotted line where he was a minute ago.
I'm about
At
to
least
say,
it's just the library. How much trouble can he get into?
because I legit have like my character sheet of like all the stuff that was stolen, and I got back like over 1,000 gold now, so I have money to spend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know, we're rich again.
Back to Barnes and Noble.
Borders?
Hello, Borders. Okay. I will say, it doesn't take too long of searching, Sonder. But you are led to a section of the city that is inhabited mostly, or it's kind of like a burrow for water genasi at the edges of the harbor here. Within the cove-like space of the waterways of Amraven, there sits a place called the Gentle Tide. It acts as a sort of housing for those who have washed ashore, as it were. Those whose memories or minds may not fully have been put together. Bahamut guides you to a woman named Morwenna. Or at least that is the name that the locals have given to her.
Morwenna?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is assumed that she fell overboard some time ago, as she was found clinging to an island of seaweed. She has since, through her amnesia, found a task that she finds easy. She tends the nets of the local fishermen, where she sits and hums to herself as she weaves the strands. An older woman whose reddish hair has started to be turning gray sits at the edges of the water. What do you do, Sunder? In your hands, you clutch the little manta ray figurine in your hand as you kind of rub it like a worry stone.
I don't know if I'm ready. If she doesn't remember me.
Then give her time, and she will. And I go to push you, and you're just like solid. You're a monk. I can't. Like...
You like play mime.
Last time she saw me was I was just a child.
You'll have a lot of catching up to do.
Okay.
Here, take this. And more symbolic, I think, than any... Shut up. More symbolic than anything, I reach in my bag and I just hand you... If she has any questions, just tell her to ask. And I place in your hands the golden elf statue that I now got back.
That's great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Man, that thing's been with us through thick and thin.
It's the first time you've allowed, well, Not me to use it, but her. I appreciate it. All right. I'll go walk across the beach towards
Walking
her.
on the beach.
And as I walk across, walking in front of her, I'm gonna intentionally drop the manta ray figurine in front of her and see how she reacts.
Oh. So you dropped it.
Oh, thank you. That's very special to me.
Is it?
My mother carved it for me when I was a young boy.
She did?
She had beautiful, bright green eyes and coppery red hair. And she liked to stand on the beach and set up the laundry, let the wind from the ocean dry our clothes. And she weaved, much like you do.
She sounds lovely.
She was. What's your name?
They call me Morwenna. You?
They call me Sonder, but I once went by Basil.
You look very familiar to me. But I don't know why. Like something from a dream.
Maybe.
Have I tended to your nets before? No.
Possibly.
No. Not your nets. Your hair. I braided your hair once.
You did. And you attended to my scrapes and bruises and taught me how to fish and how to sail and how to tend the lighthouse.
When you would play with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
My child.
I'll put my hands in her hands.
You're my child? You've grown.
I dedicated my life to Bahamut. Um, after what happened, those from the monastery took care of me. Because of you.
I'm sorry I don't remember much, but I remember some.
That's okay. We have the rest of our time to catch up.
She like pulls you down to sit by her, and she just stares at your face, then kind of brings a hand up and kind of just traces the shape of your head.
You're as handsome as your father. Thank you, Platinum One, for bringing him to me. Help me to remember.
And she starts to ask you questions.
I'll give her the elf statuette as well, and explain that a friend wants to allow you to use this to help with whatever you need. You can ask it a question.
Okay. Given time, she doesn't remember a whole lot, but it starts to come back. Little bits. She doesn't remember how. She remembers coming to when the fisherman pulled her up. And as her way of repayment for pulling her from the sea, she has tended and repaired nets using what skill she didn't know she has or where it came from. But you have found your mother and founded a temple and a monastery that in time, amongst a few other small nuggets of followers of Bahamut, the Order of the Platinum Dragon slowly begins to rebuild. Galil, your journey takes you to the edges of the Kalimshani Desert. Towards a place named Kalimport. As you travel, you and Elaine, it's not that you are nervous, but you have purpose in this. And along your travels, Elaine asks you why this is so important. What are we going to do once we get there?
I need to do this to save them. It's only a matter of time before the madness gets a hold of them even more.
Then I guess I follow you to the depths of the abyss. You reach Kalimport. It's in a strange state. Here at the edges of the desert and the edges of the sea, Kalimport has become somewhat oasis-like. Trees and gardens grow from many parts of the city. But something else pulls you here. You go to the dock boards, to a seemingly hole-in-the-wall little tavern. You and Elaine walk inside. Naja sits at a table. A tiefling woman turns to you, Galil. Naja, you have had a very tumultuous few weeks. You sense the presence of some other entity. You have fought what you could against the cult of the dragon, against the Brotherhood of Zul. Currently, Kalimport exists in a state of flux. The Brotherhood, or the cult of the dragon, have not necessarily vanished, but they have definitely become lesser in the last few weeks since the sprouting. Those who have partaken of the new fruits, the plenty of the gardens, have not shown any strange outwardly changes. But you remember the words of the knights who had been here before. You remember the words of the Sisterhood of Demos. Don't eat of the fruit. And then in one night, you felt a great loss, a pain, and found out days later that the rebellion had indeed vanquished the Empire far to the north, and 13 new stars had arisen in the sky, and one of them calls to you. And occasionally, every other night or so, you've had visions of two travelers arriving at the city with a mission, a goal, something that would end this once and for all, this plague that was starting to spread and consume your city. You look over as the door opens, and here you see two travelers enter, silhouetted by the light outside, just as you have seen in countless dreams. What do you do, Naja?
Naja's just staring at them.
Galil, you feel the burning of the light, and it comes from this tiefling woman. The same sort of kinship. Maybe you haven't quite felt as strongly. This person knows, though. You need to speak to them.
Elaine, I think we're supposed to see her.
You I need to have my sword ready?
I don't think so. We walk closer.
As you get closer, you'll notice a very familiar symbol dangling off a band wrapped around the hilt of her sword. It's the symbol of Afriel.
Oh. Yeah, we're definitely supposed to see her.
Elaine kind of steps in front between you two and looks at you. Not like to try and confront you, Naja, but definitely in the
What?
in a
Take it outside?
yeah, bodyguard kind of way, just like, how did you come by that symbol?
Do you know who this represents?
I do.
We do.
Who?
The eclipse. Afriel.
It's nice to finally have a name to him.
What's yours?
Naja. And I take it you have names that are not just the travelers.
I'm Elaine.
And I'm Galil.
It's like hearing someone hit a gong. Naja, it rings and resonates in your mind. This one is important.
It's nice to finally meet you outside of visions. We're supposed to help each other.
I guess so.
Do you tell her what you are after, Galil?
I do.
Tell her.
I'm seeking a passage to a dangerous realm.
And what realm would that be?
The one that madness comes from.
Well, then welcome to Kalamport. This whole city has been taken over by it.
You know what he speaks of, Naja. You have seen it as part of your visions as well. A dark place within the jungles of the Undercity, now overgrown with vegetation, a whole other place that has sprouted from nothing, from nowhere. Maybe this is how you take it back.
I will tell them about what happened a few weeks ago, about the knights I met, and how the abyss began taking over.
This is it, Galil. This is how you find your way back to the abyss. And finally find a way to stop this strawberry from growing any further. As we travel back across the realms of Faerun, back to the city of Atet, all of these moving pieces still in place, all of these stories still untold. Arjun.
Oh, only when you're
No,
done.
before it.
I just have a statement.
No?
Okay.
Yeah?
One morning, he gets up and does what he was bid to do. goes to his balcony that oversees the city, puts down a cup of tea on the railing. I like the idea that the shot is sort of framed just on his hand and on the railing, and steam rising off of it. And it slowly starts to pull back, and there's no music playing, there's no diegetic shenanigans. He's just starts looking down into the city, but it's focused on him. And the camera pulls back further and further. Sees more of the city, more of the city. Birds sort of sparrow past as it pulls back even further. You're in the clouds as we're leaving the city. Further and further. And we start to see all the land beneath. The camera keeps going further and further back, and we start passing through various cities that we've gone through. Some that we haven't been to yet. Seeing their various states. Better than they were, but not done yet.
And that is how we will end tonight.
That's what you think. As I made a promise to Strawberry.
Yep. Should be
I
interesting.
know the plane shift, so I just shortcut and go to the abyss myself. No.
You walked 10,000 miles, Galil, to
And I could have just sent you there like that.
Yeah, but I didn't want anyone infected.
But I
by
am
Strawberry
I'm already
knowing.
infected. I already got my COVID booster.
Oh my goodness.
And Sonder, you've been the only one to make a tear actually come out this whole campaign.
You're
Sweet.
muted.
Great scene.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
I definitely teared up myself when we went over the that part with my mom tending
The whole part.
to my braids and
I was just like, yeah, nappy head.
it started.
If Graham hadn't cracked that overboard joke, I was about to cry.
I was thinking it, but I'm like,
I looked over at
Yes.
Iskar's face and I'm like, don't you do it.
I was
will
looking at Iskar.
crack
Iskar was
under
what
it.
was starting to trigger me to start crying.
It was so sad.
It was beautiful.
It was perfect. It was exactly what I
and then
was
when you
hoping
handed
for.
her the statue, I was like, oh, another one came out. I was like, God damn it.
And we just got raided, by the way.
Of course we
Oh.
did.
Yes.
Hello, children of Proteus. Welcome.
got
We were
right at
sent
the
by the
end,
fish.
though.
When I was a young boy.
Amazing. I would walk 500 miles. Yep. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
There we go.
Yeah. This is great. This was great. So, yeah. We still have, we have some seeds for a couple little,
They're called spores.
mini shots.
Strawberry seeds.
Some strawberry seeds. Yeah.
Strawberry seeds?
Yeah.
Not after I'm done with it.
Listen here, Orchid Man.
We'll see about that in
Yeah,
Man.
Strawberry gonna give Naja a fun nickname. I want a fun nickname.
Oh, we haven't
As we
met
go
yet.
to kill you.
Well, you will. I mean, Shaudir's out there somewhere with a little bit of a connection
Oh,
there.
yeah. Oh, we're gonna kill Shaldir now.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure Trevor's died in every one of his campaigns this year so far, so this is another.
Oh,
It's fine. It's fine. But yes, thank you for how is Eloquent. That is a lovely question. We'll have to address.
Oh, was.
He's still there. I check up on him every once in a while.
Oh yeah, because we
Oh.
need to kill the
Oh,
You don't
wait,
know.
you don't know?
I don't think
you-
Kendra knows.
I think Kendra knows. He's all nope. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's just been getting back his return messages.
Return to sender. I'm like, stop playing, Eloquent.
What's going on over there? Oh my goodness. All right. Well, yeah. We have the Ardrin goes to hell, Galil goes to the abyss, and then Sonder
I like the idea
is
of just
built
sort of
a
like
temple.
crossing past, like, oh hey, like, weird.
What are you
What
doing
is
here?
it? That clip from Umbrella Academy where they see each other in the car?
Yeah.
Oh
exactly. Yeah, exactly like that. Oh my gosh, beautiful.
Oh,
All
Galil
right.
never got
Need more of like
to
a
make
passing high
his
five thing going on with their work.
your brothel
Oh yeah, he's got.
That'll
I mean,
happen later.
later.
This is more
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, he's gonna take
It's a
care of
natural
the.
phase of
This whole
economy.
thing, I've been the one interested in like going to the abyss. I speak abyssal, but like no.
No.
Yeah.
I
You
could
guys
see.
do.
You really did
Oh, I do
kind of
speak
cover
Abyssal.
most of them because there's the abyss, there's the Feywild, there's hell, there's like the only one you really missed was like the celestial plane.
I mean, I've even been to Pandemonium, but no, I
Yeah.
don't get to go to the abyss. I just get to be a bitch. No.
Oh my goodness.
There's
can
more than
see-
one way to enter the abyss.
This is
Yeah.
also
Perfect
true.
love and perfect trust. No.
And at least this
All
time
of
I'm not
which
going
you have to
fully
hold
exhausted.
your breath.
Well, I
Also
feel
true.
like with how I don't know, it depends on. So Kindred was like, "Hey, let's be brunch buddies with Leary," and then Leary had to help kill his brother. So I don't know where they're at right now.
That's so weird.
There's that level of respect of knowing I understand. And I don't hold, you would know I don't hold any ill will against you, knowing the things that I've done and this whole thing of what we've all done.
Yeah.
So it's only awkward if Larry makes it awkward. But I'm awkward.
Statistically,
Beautiful.
About that time, eh?
I can see. I can see Iskra when we're at the City of Spells, like studying the Genasi people, like all the different 4 elements, and seeing how
Oh,
they
I could learn
use
a lot.
that in their daily lives, right?
Yep. There's a lot that can be learned there.
It's for the
You probably
anthropologist.
Yeah.
You would probably like see me like anytime we like pass by a fire Genasi baby, just like look at it, like,
is it you? Is it you?
Where's that baby?
are you fume? Wake up, no.
Never is.
Oh no!
Uh-huh.
Who's just saying Tiamat to every fire Nazi baby?
It'd be like, Tiamat, no.
No!
Oh, no.
That's so terrifying.
Never
Oh.
talk to me and my fire Genasi baby ever again.
For real. Oh my
Who's
goodness.
there? No.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. We'll probably take next week off. We got some stuff to sort, and then we'll see what happens after that. At least streaming wise, we'll get some. We'll have news. We'll have news.
Just check that Discord.
Yeah, just check the Discord. Or Tia Meltdown. Oh my goodness. Nice, yeah. Lovely.
Andrew, why do you like making babies cry?
I know.
Oh, that was just gonna be like making baby.
Yeah, you
Oh
know.
no, he's in a power thirst ad.
Oh no.
Dude. Okay.
All right. Well, on that note,
That's why we have to hydrate so much.
Goodness,
yeah.
I missed y'all.
we will see you soon somewhere around the river bend of time and space and
What I
places.
love most about rivers is can't step in the same river twice.
Okay.
Water.
well,
That's
we'll
what she
see you-
says the phrase before that.
Bye.